So here we are, Mubarak everybody. Now, Mubarak, as I said, when Punjabis want to celebrate, they use the Arabic word Mubarak, which means congratulations. It comes from Barakah, the divine blessing. Our president's name, Barack, is the same word. In his inspiring inaugural address, President Obama reminded us our patchwork heritage is a strength, not a weakness. Indeed, we are shaped by every language and culture drawn from every end of this earth. And we just heard Valerie echo his words. So today we gather to celebrate Guru Nanak's birthday at the White House. How wonderful to be welcomed so warmly by everybody here. Jesse was the first one, Valerie, and so forth. It's really, this space is a center of power and privilege. And here we are, celebrating our Prophet's birthday. Guru Nanak, the founder, was born in the Punjab, far away in the foothills of the Himalayas in 1469. And we just heard the inaugural Shabad earlier today by Bhai Gurdas, Satguru Nanak Pragatya, Miti Tund Jag Chanan Hoya. You know, Guru Nanak appeared and fog was uplifted and there darkness receded and it was light. That's what we heard, and that's who Guru Nanak is, and that's what his presence means to each one of us. Celebrating his birthday is a celebration of the Sikh community, for this is the genesis of the 25 million Sikhs around the world. And we are celebrating this momentous occasion at the White House. Who would have thought of it a century ago? Sikhs in the USA go back to President Lincoln's time. There's a photograph of a Sikh who fought for the Union against slavery. Sikhs started coming to the USA at the end of the 19th century to work on the construction of railroads and lumber industries and on farms, but they soon succumbed to anti-Asian laws. Under exclusionary laws, Sikhs could not own land. Sikhs could not marry white people. Sikhs could not become naturalized citizens. Yet, the spirit of Guru Nanak, kept them going and succeed in many different fields. We have the famous case of America. He was the first Asian American elected to the Congress. Once the immigration rules were relaxed, Sikhs have been migrating to the USA. They have made and are making splendid contributions to agriculture, medicine, science, engineering, education, economy, politics, culture, army, and in safeguarding the environment. And I could go on and on. Sadly, the country they have been dedicating them to knows so little about the Sikhs. There are more than 500,000 Sikhs in the USA, and as we are all witnessing, and it was just reported recently by Ms. Gupta, Sikhs are still being victims of hate crimes. But what makes me very proud are the young Sikhs who are taking up the responsibility to educate the general public. They are giving up lucrative jobs and creating extensive network of volunteers. They are initiating numerous projects in the areas of advocacy, education, and media relations. The legacy of Guru Nanak empowers them with an identity that is equally American and Sikh. I so admire the energy of this young generation, their vision, their devotion, their innovation, and their splendid triumphs. This celebration is a profound symbol of their simultaneous allegiance to their faith and their country. Again, I thank Dr. Rajwant Singh. It's a profound symbol of our being together. It expresses we are Americans, no matter what complexion or religion we may be, just as Valerie said a few seconds ago. So today, we remember Guru Nanak, the founder, born in medieval India, 1469. We can just think historically, geographically, culturally, what a divided and divisive world. And there he came with the message, with a life lived with the vision of the divine singular. Whatever we look at, be it his philosophy, be it his ethics, as we just heard by Dr. Amrit Singh, be it aesthetics, be it his epistemology, He is the most pluralist person I know, and I've been teaching at Colby College for the last 30 years, and I read and I hear a lot of philosophers and people from all stratas of society, and yet I have to encounter anybody as progressive, as liberal, as inclusive as Guru Nanak. And I'm afraid even we today in the 21st century are not prepared to understand his message. He was quite a visionary, quite an innovative figure. And I just want to emphasize 4 different points where, number 1, philosophically, he brought the vision of one, Ik Onkar, that we heard beautifully, melodiously recited just a few seconds ago. Thank you, that was very, very uplifting. Ik, it's numeral 1. And this is something very unique in the stage of world religions where the divine God, whatever we may call, is actually spelt out, articulated as one. One. Ik Onkar, that's the original. So no translation, no God, no nothing really comes close to it, because that one is open and we can tap into it, whether we come from the Abrahamic traditions, whether we come from the Taoist tradition, whether we come from the Buddhist tradition, whether we come from the Hindu tradition, because that one is inclusive. Ik Onkar, there's one reality. And it kind of opens us up, and that one can be expressed as Ram from whatever world, or Khuda, Allah. And I think the Guru Granth Sahib itself, the Sikh scripture itself, is a beautiful example, a beautiful illustration of his vision, because it includes, to which we pay great homage to, the word of the Gurus, as well as the Sufis like Baba Farid, and Hindu Bhagats like Namdev, and many, many others. So it's really quite a profound vision of the Guru. It's like one. So please don't translate it as God, because that kind of creates a very monotheistic world which is out there, because that one is everywhere. And it's also secular, and it can be atheistic, because Guru Nanak even says, even Nirvan is a part of it. So which is kind of total extinction, So everything is a part of it, the secular, spiritual, Abrahamic, Indic world we can tap into. So who could be more inclusive than that? That is his philosophy, that is his metaphysics. And it's really the numeral, Ik Onkar, and then it goes towards infinity, and that one cannot be limited in any which way. We cannot install it in any which way. Thapya na jaye, kita na ho. It cannot be molded, it cannot be chiseled into anything. It's really the infinite one, it's the vast one. That is it philosophically, metaphysically. 2, ethically, we heard very, very, very lovely speech by Dr. Saab just a few minutes ago. And there it's all about justice, whether it's gender justice. And what's interesting is that it's not a doctrine of, it's not theology of the one God. It's really living it. It's praxis, it's practicing. Truth, Ik Onkar Satnam, one being is truth, its name. And then what does Guru Nanak say later on? Higher than everything is truth, but higher still is truthful living. Living. How we live every day. And so that's very, very significant. And as we were told, there is no, intrinsic sin or anything. It's really these kind of our own phobias, our ego. That's what makes us greedy, and makes us blind, and makes us lusty, and makes us all the negatives that we have. They put us out of joint individually, and they put us out of joint with one another, with our fellow society. So our humanity is what Guru Nanak cherished. And for that, we really need to work on our internal self. That's what's most important. Need to win that. And thirdly is his aesthetics. And I think that is really beautiful. Just now, Dr. Balbinder Kaur and I were at the museum here, and we saw Albert Einstein's words. Without mystery, there is no wonder. And without wonder, what is life? It's being dead. It's like walking with dimmed eyes. You can't see anything. Just think about it. What was Guru Nanak's aesthetic philosophy? He's not talking about the worlds out there. It's right here. He's directing our attention to here and now, to our body. This is beautiful. Don't give this up. This is lovely. It's our senses, how to see and how to hear and how to relish. Rasiya hove mushk ka tab phul pachana. The phul can be only recognized by somebody who's a rasiya, who has that aesthetic sensibility. So we really need to wonder and enjoy, savor. What are the last words? What does Guru Arjan seal to the Guru Granth Sahib? Mundavni, thal vich tin vastu pyo satsang tak jeko khave, jeko punche. So it's not just good to just eat and quickly, but to savor. And that's why the Guru Granth Sahib is all in the rags. And we just heard, and the Gurus wanted that aesthetic sentiment, that emotion. It was not to be lived blindly. And the beauty of the word, that's what Guru Nanak did. Wonder, Vaheguru, this is our word. It's the beauty and majesty of this world. We need to open our eyes up to see. And it was really quite incredible, because this is what Einstein is saying, and he's talking about this is the core of science and art. This is what our Guru said 5 centuries or more ago. So this is quite a radical vision, aesthetic vision, sensibility of living in this world. And then I want to say the epistemology of the Guru, like to just open us up. How do we practice this openness? By the Japji. Just think about it. In the morning we recite the Japji, in the evening we recite the Rehrasa and the Kirtan Soila before going to bed. Ote Kirtan Soila ch ki anda thal vich tin vastu. Gagan mein thal. Right? The thal is everywhere, kind of the platter. And so the skies are the platter. And on it are the moon and the stars and everything. So we are making jointly, everybody is making that cosmic worship to the one everywhere. And that can be Jew, Hindu, Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, Jain, you name it. So it's kind of that cosmic worship that we are making. And the thal is the skies, and we are all together. And we hear the music, it's really very, very beautiful. But in the morning people call it the mystical stages, and we start out with the realm of Dharam. From there we go to Gyan, Saram, which is beauty, to Karam, world of action, and we come to the realm of Sach. And that is the journey, that is the finale, and that's where the truth is. And that's where he launches us. Can you imagine every morning we recite it? Constellations, there are galaxies and constellations and worlds beyond worlds. We talk about multiverse today. Guru Nanak had sensed it earlier. There are universes and universes, and there's no end, no limit to anything. It's that infinite world. And when we kind of envision it, really when we try to experience it, just see what happens to our inside. Don't we kind of expand? So all that kind of my selfishness and my ego and all those kind of dissolves. It's kind of it's kind of a potent medicine, by kind of imagining that kind of very infinite world. So that's the final stage, the mystical stage or spiritual stage, however we want to put it. But then the 38, the finale of the Guru, of the Japji Sahib is the Smithi. Right? 38th stanza is what? Jat pahara tirat sunyar, aharan mat ved hathyar, pau khalagan tak tau, panda pau amrit jittar. Gadiye sabd sachi taksal. So Guru Nanak's spiritual locus evokes a secular landscape. So what we have here is a smithy. Clearly, the smithy is not a religious site. It is not a spot out in nature. It is not up in the mountains or in the forests. It's not far from home and society. If anything, the jeweler's workshop transports us to a narrow lane in the hustle and bustle of a bazaar, putting us up in close proximity with fellow beings. The goldsmith is not an elite artist sitting in some lofty studio. This is somebody forging coins in the true mint. His or her work has a practical and functional import. The coins are bought and sold. They exchange many hands. Social conventions and financial networks hinge on these metallic commodities. Religion in the Sikh context vibrantly contributes to the enrichment of social, political, and economic life. Guru Nanak staged the goldsmith precisely as a model to be emulated, so we awaken to the radiance of the jewel we hold in our very hands. Heere jaisa janam hai, kaudi badle jaye. So this whole, everything is very, very precious. So, celebration. What does it call? Remember. remember memories, but memories also have a future. So today we remember, we kind of think about his pluralistic vision so that we can work together with love. All of it is love. Remember the stanza of the Japji I just recited, Pao khala agan taptao panda pao pao. It's love. Because the whole panda, the vessel, is full of love. Only by love can we function, and that has to be with the Amrit, the flow of Amrit, and that is nectar, the ambrosia, that is a divine elixir that we are all endowed with. So we work together to better this world without, so what is the world we are creating? Without political, sexual, racial, class, and ecological oppressions on earth, here and now. Mubarak. May the cosmic blessings be upon us as we create a pluralistic patterns, multicultural ways of imagining, and exciting new ways of being in the world together. Thank you.